Our religion doesn't mention the impossible. It can't happen. But it might tell you sometimes,
من يريد الله به خيرا يفقهه في الدين.
science has to be understood. Science is not fact. Science is not fact. Science changes, hypothesis, theories. Science cannot give you an explanation on everything. Science doesn't explain everything. Why am I drinking this water? Science can't explain that. So the idea that you give science complete freedom to be the one to dominate everything and explain everything, that itself is an unscientific statement. It goes against science in its essence. And a lot of the time science is based on observation, and you mentioned it. And human observation itself is also restricted, as our minds are restricted. To give your eyes or your mind unrestricted freedom, it's an illogical absurdity. If I took a cup and I put a pencil inside it, what does it look like? It looks like the pencil is broken. When I take it out, it looks fine. When I put it back in, it looks like the pencil is not straight. That's something I'm looking at, which my eyes are telling me different to what it really is. You're driving on a road and the sun is hitting that surface of the earth and it looks like there's water in front of you. As you drive, you think there's water. As you get there is no water. So this shows you that you're looking and your brain can sometimes fool you and trick you. How do you then want to take your observation to another level and talk about the unseen? The unseen is not something your brain and your eyesight can fathom. You're struggling to fathom and grasp things that you're looking at. You see it differently. And you see two people look at one thing, sometimes they're telling you two different things, and they're both looking at it. Sah? So this is where revelation gets involved. When it comes to the unseen, revelation steps in and says to the brain and says to the eyesight, wait, this is the unseen. This is a realm that you can't comprehend. You have to believe. You have to what? Yeah. Believe. Right now, there are things that we believe in that we can't see. If I was to go there and hit you hard and you said, oh, I feel pain. I can't feel your pain. I can't see it. I can't smell it. I can't taste it. All my senses will not apply. I have to take your word for it. So at certain times, you have to believe what you don't see. Gravitational force. You believe in it when you can't see it. And so then it's unfair for a person to pick and choose when they want to accept their eyesight or their observation or their mind. But revelation in its entirety, they want to reject it. I want to say one point which is very important. The reason why a lot of the times we can't understand what the revelation sometimes says is because our religion doesn't mention the impossible, but it mentions some things which are, there's no source. The Quran and the Sunnah is never going to mention something which is mustahil, impossible. It can't happen. But it might tell you sometimes things that you might be confused with. It's called maharat al-uqul. Maharat al-uqul means your brain is struggling to fathom with it. It's not impossible, but it's how did it happen? How? You just can't understand it, but it's not impossible. It can happen. But for you, it's like, how? You understand? Maharat al-uqul changes from time to time. Things that confuse your mind change from time to time. If you was 1,000 years back, if you were to tell people that you could talk to somebody in another side of the world from a gadget, yeah, and they can see you from that gadget or that phone, they would say, are you crazy? How's that going to happen? It will be confusing to them, and it now isn't confusing to us. Actually, not only am I able to talk to you, but I can also see you. Instantly, the same minute you're saying that, I'm seeing it on the other side of the world. If you told them that you will be able to travel from one side of the world to the other side of the world in this much speed, they will look at you and say, you're crazy. It confuses their mind, but today it doesn't. So as time goes on, things become more clearer to us. And we see things that now make sense, that didn't make sense. So look at the Quran and the Sunnah, you might find, and you will find, things that confuse the mind, but not things that are impossible. The religion will never mention al-jam'u bayna al-naqidain, the two opposites coming together. Something can't be black and white at the same time, can't be cold and hot at the same time. Do you understand? That's impossible. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The issue of the sun that you mentioned, again, it falls under the things that the mind will struggle to fathom. But that's not a problem. There are a lot of things that our brains can't fathom how they work and we still believe in them. Just add it to that list, inshallah ta'ala.